Hello Kerbalots and welcome to my Kerbal multiplayer server, the Minmus village. So let's show you what I've been doing. Well, as I asked in the last episode, I asked you guys to put your names in the description if you want me to add it to the Kerbal village. And a lot of you have done so, 15 in fact, I think, the last count. Although I think there was an additional one since then. I'll have to keep an eye out on that video, see if anyone else wants to add their name to it. Or perhaps add their name to a mission or something. Now the funny story about this, and by the way I'm doing this post-commentary because I didn't like the way my voice was sounding on this. So what was funny was I tried to edit the persistence file, which is on my PC, which is normally where the Kerbal names are generated. But the Kerbal server does not work that way. In fact, the Kerbal server requires you to add Kerbals to it on the server itself, so that's what I had to do. And for those who asked to be scientists, pilots or engineers, I'm sorry, but it seems like it's only able to do it on the names themselves. I think that's my thoughts anyway. So what have we done? Well, what I'm going to do, in fact, I should be saying, well, we have a couple of things. I don't know if you guys watched, but we've done an episode, or I've done some highlights of me and my friend doing a mission to the man to see how a Kerbal server would work. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go down to to our landing site. And if you did watch that highlight, spoilers, if you haven't, pause this video now and go and watch the highlights. But if you're not too bothered, oh well. Here we go, spoilers. If we load, come on, yeah, the Kerbal server seems to take a bit of time loading. But here we got two Kerbals, they're stranded. Yes, they're stranded. We even got a Kerbal on the Mir orbiter who was stranded as well because he was relying on the lander to return them as well. And look at this. This is one of the RCS pods I created with a seat on it, where the Kerbals could go flying around a bit further than their jetpacks would probably take them. And that's going down the mountain. Okay, that's destroyed now. Oh, by the way, the Kerbals seem to have strolled down the mountain, perhaps, or slide down the mountain. I'm not sure whether the Kerbal server loaded him in a different position. I was trying to switch to the crash site. Okay, what happened was we landed, we got onto the Kerbal, onto the RCS pods, which we were going to fly it around. However, I decoupled one, had my Kerbal on it. My friend Turan, I'll get it right someday, don't worry. Anyway, my friend, he also attached, decoupled his, and I think for some reason the Kerbal server thought I was still attached. So what happened? I think I was trying to fly off. However, I think I tipped the lander off, even though I thought it was glitching out a bit there. So yes, you do have the glitches on it, but this is a mod. And for what you can do with it, play with the two people, that's awesome. You know, it's not crashing out every now and again. Well, it's crashing out every now and again, not every time you try to in the vicinity of each other. And yes, it does need a lot of work, but this is Kerbal Space Program. It all needs a lot of work, let's be fair. So what I'm going to do is build a lander that we can get to them, or a rescue mission. I have to note that we won't be doing the rescue mission without my friend, so you have to hang tight if you're waiting for that, because we both work weird hours, and you know, sometimes we both work on weekends and whatnot, so, and it's coming to Christmas, which means gonna be busy. And that's why this video out is a bit late, I think, than normal. Anyway, let's get building. Okay, my commentary was not good on here on the building either, because I was tired. Yes, I normally do these videos after work, so you can see over here I'm setting up a way for our Kerbals to return safely. Parachutes on that pod. Let's put some Kerbals in there, make sure it's not you guys, because I don't want to send you guys on a mission. That's one thing with the Kerbals as well. If someone else decides to do a mission and they don't check what Kerbals they have, they could easily add you guys. See, you'd be involuntarily added to a mission. Okay, so what are we doing here is adding a hitchhiker pod, which we can put all the Kerbals on. We got two Kerbals that can man the mission. and I've set this up so the entire thing by here will re-enter the atmosphere, and once they finish the re-entry heating, I can decouple them both. The parachutes can fire then on both of them, and hey presto, everything is done well and fine and dandy. However, I have to note on the hitchhiker pod there is no control device, so that's why I add MechJeb. Now that has a control device, we can independently figure that out, deploy the parachutes safely and soundly without both of them crashing into each other while the parachutes are trying to be deployed. Okay, so now that we have the main craft, we can go on to the building of the rocket itself. Okay, it's going to be a simple design, nothing specialized. However, we do have to add a lander. Another lander, I suppose you could say, because we already landed a lander. And hopefully this won't glitch out and destroy it. No fancy dandy thing like building RCS pods this time though. That was just for fun and to see what would happen. But just a normal lander, I'm going to dock it to the top. This lander will be dispensable, so I'm going to rely on the return rocket down the bottom, and hopefully we'll have enough to get us by. You see the Valkyrie is going down at the top, yes. So we're going to have to do something about that. Anyway, after building the lander, that's the basics of it. We're going to have to add landing legs, obviously. And some, I suppose, rocket engines. We've got one on there. This is the rocket engine. I decide now that we need something a bit bigger, a bit more robust. So yes, here we go. Using the Kerbal tanks. Need to add another one. Yes, that's enough for us to get to the moon and back. Obviously, we'll have to build a launcher that will support all this, get into orbit. And don't forget, if you're doing anything in KSP, strut it up. Yes, one thing we'll get into is rocket wobble, I suppose. And again, for the lander, I'm going to add a MechJeb, individual MechJeb unit, because I hate landings, although, okay. Landings aren't too bad, I can do them. It's just that when you're on a KSP server with someone, something glitches out, and I've been having trouble with, not frame rate, not with graphics, more with, I suppose, the physics of the games. My PC is not powerful enough for all this, so yes, I'm gonna have to be upgrading, but I suppose that'll have to wait until I can save up a bit. Or if you guys want to give me millions of subscribers and earn my way through ad revenue, that's fair enough. Okay, I'm not pressuring anybody with that. That's just stupid. I'm not doing this for the fame at the moment. I'm doing this for fun. Okay, you just saw me there adding the RCS thrusters and oh yes, the cubicle octagonal strut. We'll get a bit more into that in a bit, I suppose. So, oh yes, and for the thrusting, I'm not using the 4-way thruster blocks. I decided to use the RCS pods, put them so they can thrust forward and backwards, and then put them on the side so they can go side to side, as I just did there. And explaining things me no good at. So yes. Anyway, don't forget to add the solar panels. That is one thing we forgot. We knew we had to do a rescue mission, even though the lander tore itself apart by the magic of KSP. We forgot to add, in other words, forgot to add solar panels and batteries. So that's what we're doing by here. Okay, guys, I suppose the launcher part now, that's basically done. That's it. Oh, yes. Don't forget the fairing. And I do... No, it wasn't this one. It's the next launch I do a nice looking fairing. Oh, you'll see it. Anyway, all that is set up and done. Just the launcher. All the staging is correct, checked and double checked. We'll call this the Man Rescue Vehicle. Oh yes, I forgot I didn't record the launch vehicle adding. But I use some of the launch vehicles I use on my Minding the Man episode. Anyway, as Scott would say, here's past me. Okay, Kerbal nuts, here we are on the launch pad with the Man Recovery Vehicle. And we got things poking through the fairing. That's because I added a control wheel, a reaction wheel within there, and I forgot to extend the fairing. But never mind, we'll give this a go. I'm going to start the launch on camera, and if something goes wrong, you'll see it, because I'm always worried about the wobbly rocket syndrome. So let's go ahead, get this into a circular orbit. Let's go to full. I'm going to do this manually because I do not trust MechJeb at the moment, because it has given me problems with my rockets in the past. So, okay, let's get rid of that rendezvous tab. And let's go. Right. 3, 2, 1, launch. And we have liftoff. As you notice, we're on slow. In fact, I'm running about 8 frames per second. But that's okay, because at the moment, it's because of physics in the game. Once we dumped quite a large load from this, I think everything will improve. We have a wobbly rocket syndrome here. I'm going to see. I'm going to try and keep it steady and slow, and try to keep us under 2 on our thrust to weight ratio. I'm going to do a very slow gravity turn from launch. And this is the idea, guys. Some of you come and say, you know, my rocket disintegrates on launch. And normally, even if you use some of my designs, some of them have a bit of wobble in them. Sometimes they build them so the struts go through the fairings, and sometimes the struts don't go through the fairings when you reload the rocket at certain times. I have no idea what's up with that. Okay, we're still at full thrust. I think we're quite stable because we've got all large engines. Anyway, the way to overcome the wobbly rocket syndrome is try to keep as center as possible on these, on the prograde raptor, and try not to wobble too much, too slow turns. And we got too much wobble at the minute. Sometimes the SAS causes some problems, so turn the SAS off, let the rocket recover. But you have to keep it pointing in prograde, because otherwise you'll have problems when you're separating the rocket and you're not pointing straight. You get the mark effects, which will flip you over because of drag. And we're coming up to the first separation, Captain. Hopefully everything's staged correctly. Okay. And first separation has been a success. We're getting over about 10,000 kilometers. Let's increase the thrust slightly. Let's get our rocket back on course, and I'll cut the video here until we're in orbit. Okay guys, I'm bringing you back here because we're almost in orbit. Now once this is set up, this orbit is set up, I'm going to leave it in orbit because I am going to wait for my friend before we can go on our adventure or try to recover our Kerbals. Because that's what this is all about. This is just the setup of the vehicle ready, because my friend is, as me, he works for a living. He doesn't do the YouTubes. Okay, let's pump up our orbit slightly. Okay, almost 100 by 100. There you go. Just decouple that. Engage our main engine. Let's thrust forward a bit. Okay, now that looks good. Don't worry about the debris. The debris will be deleted within 30 minutes. That is a norm for this server. You can set up debris to be deleted, otherwise you'll have it all over the place. Like them, they'll be deleted. Anyway, I have to wait now for my friend to be ready because he works on weird hours. I don't know when. I'll probably do the same as before, highlight video, or depending on how the mission goes, depending on how much time we have. Come on, you. Open up. Hey. Sometimes there's something wrong with my right click. Hopefully that'll be fixed in version 1.1. Which I'm still looking forward to, by the way, because my frame rate has improved. We're at 10 frames per second now. Just in between 14 and 10. But yes, we are in orbit. We're ready for our rescue mission. We've got our lander, we've got a return vehicle, and we've got our vehicle that'll get us there and back. Okay, so I think the next thing, I think we'll go to a commercial break, and then we'll go to a... oh, music. I'll go to a commercial break at this moment, and then we will decide on what we're going to do with our Kerbal village, because I want to try the Kerbal attachment system mod and the Kerbal inventory system mod. And I want some of your guys Kerbals to build something on the surface in our village on Minmus. And talking about Minmus, I'll leave that until we land on Minmus. Introducing the cubic octagonal strut, a versatile piece of engineering that you'll want and need. You can attach it to your rocket, enhancing its capabilities. You can use it as a step ladder for your Kerbals. Not advised as Kerbals adapt. You can send it in orbit as a piece of majestic debris. Or you can use it for science and smash it into a moon or planet. That was fun! And now you can buy it for none other than 10% of its original 1000% purchase price. Act now. Available at a KFC near you. Warranty void if you thought about using the bar. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that effort. I enjoyed making it. But we've got work to do. Okay, so I said I'm going to land some of you at the Kerbal village. So here we are. Again, this is fast forward. I had to add music and take the audio out because the music would have been sped up and it would have sounded horrible. So you can see by here, I'm adding things to the Kerbal attachment system container, the Kerbal inventory system, and I've added these strut connector thing blocks that we can add struts to and everything, so we can make lights for our village. People in the darkness, Kerbals won't be able to walk about at night. It'll be sort of like the ghetto, I suppose. You'll be afraid. Anyway, here we are on launch, using MechJeb this time because it works with this rocket. It is particularly safe in this rocket. Look at that weird nose cone shape. I did mention it earlier on, and it looks hilarious. I can't think of what it is part of. Okay, I'll leave that to your imagination. Anyway, getting up into orbit should be a snap with this. As I said, I've used it with MechJeb before. However, I'm trying to use the orbit inclination to try to save on fuel on trying to change the inclination of our orbit while in orbit. Because as you guys know, you should know, of course you know, that trying to change your inclination while already in orbit uses a lot more fuel. It's much more fuel efficient for you to set your inclination as during launch or during a planned burn. So while we're trying to get into orbit, I suppose we can talk a bit more about the village, yes, or what I plan to do with my channel, I suppose. Because I was going to do a whole episode on our way. I can talk about what I'm going to do with my channel and what my plans were. Okay, as we've done that, we're going to get in towards Minmus. I can talk a bit about... well, I want to continue with this KSP server. I want to see how good it is. I want to do more videos of it. I did plan to do this entirely live. However, the amount of footage I recorded was over the length of my normal video, which is 30 minutes, so 50 minutes if you count my just talk episodes. I'm not continuing them at the moment. I could include all that and get used to my commentating in here, or live commentating at that, as you heard me on the previous launch and getting into orbit of the man rescue mission. But I'm going to pause my Mind the Man episodes at the moment. Don't worry, I will get back to them when I have the chance. But I want to do more of these videos, at least during the Christmas breaks, because things will get busy. And I'll be working mostly over Christmas time, except Christmas Day, I suppose. Who works on Christmas Day? I suppose some people do. You've always got television people left, haven't you? Anyway, I'm going off course by here. No, not with the rocket, with my talking. Okay, so what I plan to do is a bit more of this. I was planning on doing a bit more on the Minecraft server of my friends let me on. But however, I haven't been able to log in there lately. Not sure what's going on. It's happened before. But I suppose it'll resolve itself. I'll try again a couple of times. But yeah, I'll be doing sort of like multiplayer game. I'm going to try adding another friend on here. 2 people have voiced their interest on coming onto this server. You know, I wouldn't mind having more people on there. It's something I'd have to give a try on though. Oh yes, and while we're on the server, I'm talking about, I forgot to add solar panels or batteries here. And you can see I've got the electric charge up. So I only produce electric charge when I'm firing the rocket. That means I'll have to fire the rockets when doing particular maneuvers. And at this point, I decide, get MechJeb, do a quick landing. And I've set this to land near the village. And that's what MechJeb is doing. And he's doing pretty well. So yes, guys, let me know. I know tutorials would be a thing as well. I could do tutorials on the server itself. So, like, not a labeled tutorial, but I suppose tutorials get a lot of views because people are searching for it. And they watch it once, and if that's all they want from me, that's good. They can come, look, and go. But if you wanted to subscribe for more videos and all that, then great. Because now I've got over 2,000 subscribers, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, you know, most of them probably hit the subscribe button from the tutorials, and perhaps that's all they come to watch. So I'll have to look into that. Let me know if all you want to watch is tutorials, and I can think about that. Or I want to continue with the server, as I said, because I can think this has a lot of potential. You can have people on the server, you can teach them on the server, I suppose, over Skype or TeamSpeak or something. And however, it's awkward at the moment because with high part count it goes slow. And with the bugs, your rockets could explode if you're trying to control the same rocket or someone spectating you. And docking is going to be a bit of a pain, especially when you're close to a planet, moon, or I think it's even worse when you're in atmosphere because it's trying to take into account the atmospheric effects between 2 vehicles. Your computer saying it's going to be here because of the atmospheric effect, but while he's actually turning and the effects are different. So yes, there are a couple of things. Yes, by here, yes, we are firing our engines, which means we're not losing charge, which means MechJeb can do its job and land us safely. So landing here, 7 of you guys could have died. Yes, this was a ballsy move. And I did add RTGs into the container, which I could not attach, which we'll get to in a moment. But as we're landing, I suppose, you can see it's going to be easy enough for MechJeb. As MechJeb does, when it comes to a certain height, it kills the velocity completely, so you're heading straight down. Not the most fuel efficient way to land, but it is the easiest way to land. Right here, I'm manually controlling it. I decide, well, now we're at this height, I can get close to the village. Expect the frame rate to drop. Yes, I do need an upgrade. And I've upgraded my graphics card, sort of. It's not a new card. I've got the 770 GTX 770 Nvidia card, which Nvidia cards are awesome. I used to love Radeon, but I've got them more on the side of, I suppose, Nvidia, because they've got the software out there to gain the market, I suppose. Anyway, again, I'm going off course with my conversation. What was I talking about? What I plan to do? Yes, I have to add more people. I'm going to add another friend, as I did say earlier on in another episode, and I'm saying it again. He's Virik, VIR UK 67. He does a Let's Play on Kerbal Space Program. I enjoy his videos, and we've been talking back and forth, supporting each other and all that. So I'm inviting him to the server. I haven't sent the message yet, although he does know about the server. I suggested it to him earlier before, message a load of YouTubers, and they didn't get much response except for one. And I think that some they may not have responded because they're a bit thing about what the server is about. And I don't plan on doing Kerbal Wars and all that. But what I plan to do is get together on missions sometimes. I'm going to build this village. At one and just for fun, this Kerbal village. It has no purpose. Why should everything in Kerbal Space run have a purpose? Everything doesn't have a purpose in Minecraft. And that's the magical thing about a game like this. You can do what you want. If you enjoy it, fair enough. If the other players come on here and decide, I want things like mining operations, exploration missions, and all that you normally have in Kerbal Space Program, that's fair enough. I don't mind that. Each Kerbal for themselves. So yes, I'm going to be continuing with this server and multiplayer server. And you see at the moment, because the village is loaded in, I'm having frame rate issues. And it's not to do with graphics, because I got a new graphics card and we're still having lower frames per second. Although I am going to fiddle with the Kerbal Space Program settings, hopefully we can work something out of that. That said, I'm waiting for version 1. Yes, 1.1, not 1, sorry, version 1.1, where they have multi-threaded physics. And the reason why this is going slow, even though I've got a CPU which can do this quite well, actually, it has problems. Alright, now this is the point where I discover that I cannot attach anything with the Kerbals that are here. No offense to you guys, but you're all pilots and scientists. Yes, I think you can see where I'm getting up here. I put something in this Kerbal's inventory already. If I can right click, let's get him down first. Okay, give me your inventory. Inventory tech Kerbal. Oh, we got 111. Oh yeah, this is 111. The guy, yes, here we go. This item can only be used by a Kerbal with the skill of engineering or repair skill, which is the engineers. I thought this being a sandbox, I could do whatever I like with any Kerbal, but he is not. So we're gonna have to get some of you guys over here. Anyway, while we're doing that, and let's show you my village. All right, this is the first one we landed. Someone mentioned it was like a bumblebee. Oh yeah, by the way, that Kerbal was 111. He said 111 like the vault from Fallout 111. That's what I was meant to mention. Okay, this is the first one we landed anyway, when I introduced the server. Awesome build. This is the mansion of my village. Yes, you can see the T-junction, as someone said, of the fuse in the fuel tanks to create a multi-docking port. I think I'm not going to call it a T-junction. I'm going to call it an X-junction. I don't like being... I like to be unique. So it's my X-junction docking ports. Anyway, I docked these on the sides. One of them's not straight. I did try to use MechJeb. I messed up on this one, but never mind. It worked out in the end. It was easy enough to land. Just about. With the frame rate issue, it was, a bit hairy, but MechJeb done the job. Okay, so what else have we got? I've got no Kerbals as well in the village. I'm waiting for you guys. Oh yes, this is our multi-story. It's all like apartments. Can have several Kerbals in it. I think 4 in the science base in it. And then you can have... Oh yeah, only one, the cupola. But the cupola is sort of like what your Kerbals need. And I've been messing around with the Inferno robotics. Only to do things like this at the moment. So extend this out they can extend their satellite dish. And that supplies TV for our Kerbals on there. Okay, the next one. Oh yes, this one as well has got Fernal Robotics, but something happened. Weird's happened with this when loading it. I did align that satellite dish on top of that Fernal Robotics. I was deciding whether to land another one, but if you open this, when it gives me the option, yes, this is what happens when frame rate issue goes down. You see we're red in the top left on the clock. That I can't deal with that all the time. I'd have to speed all these videos up and post commentary on all of them. And I don't want to do that with everything. Anyway, that is open. That's got receiving signals. The last one I just showed you took a bit longer to build. This is our trailer one. I wish the lights would show up the colour that you set them. The rear ones are supposed to be red, but they shine red on the ground. Now that's our lander, that's our Kerbal 111. And that's everything. 5 buildings, 5 houses, 5 places for our Kerbals to visit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Now let's see who we've got as engineers. We have an engineer, just Jake. He is going to be able to build our village. But who else have we got? Pilot scientist. Not many engineers. We got Cedrin. And we Tom Buskerman. Ooh, we have another one. Walking Raven. 2 engineers that go into our village. And I think it only bases what your Kerbal is by the name. I think. I went into it. There's no option to change to engineer. Perhaps there's a number I could change. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But there's a lot I want to plan to do with this server. So I'll have to work something about adding people. 2 people have already asked they could be added. So I'll look into that. Anyway, if you like this, like it. If you want to subscribe, if you enjoy the idea of the server, subscribe. Also, let me know if you enjoyed their advert. I won't be doing it every video, but it is a bit of fun. So, all in all it says, I'm a Raven. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Interesting. We've got an orbiter by here. I'm not sure where it's from. Secret spy sat for suspicious Minmus activity monitoring. Oh, wait a minute, it's a secret. Okay, we can forget it.